Great day, good people. How's everybody doing? I hope you're well. And if you're not, if you're going through some things, I'm sending out positive energy and positive flow that things change and get better for you. For those who may have lost a loved one, my heart goes out to you. I hope that you're able to deal and heal in your time. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. So let me welcome you to Aisha Speaks Jade podcast. I am your hostess, Aisha, also known as Jade. And today's episode, I'm going to be speaking on which I definitely identify and have experienced some of this, and perhaps you have as well. And let's see if we can change it. So today's episode is about 5 signs you're eating too much sugar. And I always say playfully, but honestly I mean it too. Sugar is the devil, okay? And for those of us that are diabetic and know we should not have sugar and yet we still eat some, even the smallest amount is bad for us. And I know that's very hard. And I can speak for myself. Being diabetic, okay, I'm type 2, okay, I'm not claiming, I'm not going to be taking no insulin. But I have taken pills before. And yes, I said I have. And I know that my doctor probably would not be happy with me, with her knowing that I'm not taking that wonderful metformin that most doctors give to individuals who are type 2 diabetic, okay? I've taken up to 1,000 milligrams of metformin during the day and 1,000 milligrams of metformin at night. And this is an issue that I have because they want to put me back on that. And honestly, okay, I am a pro-choice type of person, right? My choice for me is that 1, I believe is reversible. 2, I have to be consistent and discipline myself. And 3, what metformin has done for me was mess with some of my vision. It has also, like, the one thing it does do is it definitely makes you go to the bathroom. And for me, it also, taking a high dosage like that has hurt my stomach and made it like I get cramps, right? And then I've been finding myself in the past, my potassium, it's not too good. It locks me up in the legs, get those Charlie horses, and just, the side effects that the majority of big pharma pills have. Again, I am pro-choice. If you feel like those medications are working for you, if you take medication, then that's you. If you want to incorporate taking big pharma and some holistic practices, that's good. That's good for you. Also, if you don't want to and you want to reverse it the natural way, that's great too. It's all up to the individual. Who am I, or who are we to make that choice for people, right? Because at the end of the day, you can preach to your purple in the face. A person's going to do what they want to do. So all we can do is just send good vibes up that they do better with their physical well-being, right? Because most of these, again, these pills, these big pharma pills, like, they have side effects. And then you have to get another pill to take care of that side effect. And it's like a domino effect. But anywho, this is not about preaching. This is about what we can do, hopefully, to stop eating so much sugar. And even if you're not diabetic, I grew up in a home where things were made from scratch, right? Had a nana who had a garden, had a Nana who cooked the majority of the food from scratch. She made jams and jellies, and she pulled from her grape vineyard, and she pulled from her apple tree and made fresh stuff from scratch. You didn't hear a lot of, well, I didn't hear a lot of diabetes and hypertension, which is high blood pressure, and cholesterol issues, and dementia, Alzheimer's, and epileptic seizures, and even obesity, like and iron and anemia. Like, I didn't hear those words like that a lot. You may have had it, but it probably was maintained. But in today's moving forward society, more kids are becoming diabetic, diabetic type 1, diabetic type 2, never heard of pre-diabetic. Obesity is off the chart. You're hearing a lot more of lupus. All of these diseases you're hearing a lot more of. I've heard of the migraines or the bad headaches. Maybe the iron. I'll put that out there. But all of those other things that I briefly mentioned, you just really never heard a lot of that. So hopefully we can figure out some ways. I'm going to talk about the signs. Again, 5 signs that you're eating too much sugar. So even on the days you don't wake up to a fancy coffee drink, like Starbucks, or reward yourself with a cupcake, right? I love cupcakes. At lunch or whenever, you can still go overboard with the sweet stuff. So we're going to check out these signals that you're already overindulging. So sign number 1 is you're craving sugar. I crave sugar so much. I have to be honest with myself, right? It's not that I'm looking for a pat on the back about being honest, but I'm being honest with myself and saying that I crave sugar, and it is a struggle. And even with eating fruits, I know that they have their own natural sugar, but even with that, I have to be mindful of just how much fruit I eat, because natural sugar in fruits can be sometimes too high for individuals with diabetes. So it's just have to strategize and find out and research, and don't overindulge just because it's fruit and you're having natural sugar. Don't overindulge with eating a lot of fruit. Maybe like a handful, and keep it moving and making sure that you get your water intake in and doing some exercise and walking and things like that, and not overeating a lot of food either, right? Because I know I used to, growing up, could get it in. My metabolism at that time would burn much faster, so I could eat so much and burn it off, and it wouldn't mean anything. But the older that you can get, not for everyone, but the older that you can get, that metabolism may begin to start not being able to burn it off so much. So we just have to watch ourselves. So again, the first sign is you're craving sugar. So if you find yourself saying, I could really go for something sweet right now, all the time, chances are you go for something sweet all too often. So no one's craving sugar because they're eating healthy. You crave sugar when you're consuming a lot of it. Then, after your blood sugar spikes, you start to crash. That's your body saying, more please. And who can blame it? You just had a high. You had a sugar high. No one wants to go back to the low. That's how your cinnamon roll breakfast turns into a mid-morning smoothie and a lunch with a brownie as your chaser. And, well, you know how it goes. The solution is you take a good look at what you've been eating, noting especially what foods you're consuming that might have hidden sugar in it. People know they're having a lot of sugar when they eat cake or a donut. For me, how I've been noticing is that if I have too much sugar, my eyes will start jumping. Maybe one, I've even experienced both my eyes jumping. But typically, it's the right eye jumping. That's how I know I've had too much sugar. So, again, having a lot of sugar when they eat cake or a donut, but they're not aware that their salad dressing, your pasta sauce, and bread can be loaded with sugar. And we know, okay, so if bread has sugar, for a person with diabetes, you should not be having either any bread at all or very limited amount. Or you should have the more have the bread that has like more grains in it if you have to eat bread, but don't go overboard with it. Like not having pasta is supposed to not be good, and you gotta definitely watching the starch, and it's just a variety of different things. So again, those few things that I just mentioned can be loaded with sugar. The ingredient labels on your food. And I've been really watching, reading the ingredients with my food. They have those long, complicated words that you may not be able to pronounce. What I would say is Google it and see what it means. There are things that sugar should be in, and then there's things it should not be in. If you're eating yogurt, for example, there shouldn't be any added sugar. And I know that a lot of people who may like that yogurt, that for me, being lactose, I can't have regular yogurt, even if it says non-fat. And I'm careful with eating my vegan yogurt too, because that can have some hidden sugar in it as well. Let's just be honest. So just read it. And please be careful about when it says, no sugar. It has that artificial sweetener in it. That's even worse than sugar, right? White sugar is supposed to be bad for you, and if you do have to have sugar, they're saying perhaps use brown sugar or find other alternatives, like maybe raw honey or, a different type of alternative. Sign number 2, you're kinda moody. That's definitely me. Being moody, okay? Sugar is like crack, and I'm not being ignorant about that, but sugar is such a disease. That sugar is like crack. When people used to drink Mountain Dew, I swear I wasn't a fan. I tried Mountain Dew before, but it wasn't my thing. But I know a lot of people love Mountain Dew soda. That was the crack drink of all drinks, Mountain Dew. People loved Mountain Dew. People love Pepsis and Coke. All that sugar. And even though, again, they have diet sodas that say 0 calories or 0 sugar, you have that hidden agenda. You have that fake sugar in it. It's still sugar in it. They may call it another fancy long word that you can't pronounce, or they may just be honest and say they have that aspar something in it, or perhaps stevia. I've never tried stevia. I know that they have a lot of that in products as well, right? So we just have to be mindful and careful. So again, getting back, sign 2 is you're kind of moody. So you can be short-tempered during your morning commute, might be signs it's time to check your sweet tooth. When your blood sugar levels are up and down, your body's hyper-focused on getting your next fix. You're not a pleasant person to be around in those moments. Those are the moments when you, perhaps if you have kids, snap at your kids, snap at your loved one, snap at your significant other, snap at your boss, snap at your coworker, snap at some person you don't even know, a stranger. Those are the moments when we're not so kind with our colleagues or spouses. I just said that. So, a possible solution might be moody for a good reason, because you're getting healthier by ditching added sugar. Go cold turkey and recalibrating your body. Now, everybody can't go cold turkey. Some can, and it's okay. Like, I remember when I first, back years ago, wanted to be vegetarian vegan. Well, I started out cold turkey, and I went vegetarian, and then eventually I went to vegan. And I was vegan for five years, I'll say. 5, maybe 6 years, and then went through some stuff in life, and eventually got back with eating meat and all of that, and then I became it's just going back to bad habits. I became diabetic. Now, I may have been diabetic in the past, but it was not detected. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even diabetic, because when I lived in California at once upon a time, I was vegan while I was in California, and I stayed going to, the doctors or whatever, making sure I was good. I had other issues, but as far as diabetes, it just was not there. So you have to learn to listen to your body, because I was not before, and I am so listening. And let me just say, disclaimer, I can get hard-headed. And the minute that I get hard-headed, the body just says, you know what? I'm going to let you feel it for a minute, because you didn't listen to me. So there are consequences. So again, sometimes it may be easier to take 3 days and say, this is going to stink, but I'm going only to eat real fruits as my source of sugar. Maybe you just need to break the cycle. So if you can go cold turkey, that is great. If you need to wean yourself off, that is okay too. It's almost like, a person who is trying to stop smoking. Some people can go cold turkey and never smoke again. Some people they have to just wean themselves off and take time, because if you're a person that tries to go cold turkey, knowing that you can't, it is a possibility that you're going to make it worse. So just do what fits you. Okay? Some people do patches. Some people chew gum or whatever. So in reference to the sugar, just do what's right for you. Because I'm sure it's not fun sticking a needle in yourself every day. I cannot imagine. And I know it's definitely not fun in the past popping pills, popping those metformin or whatever other pill that people take for diabetes, but I know metformin is a popular one. It's not fun. It's not fun when your body is aching. You're in so much pain because you didn't do right. Or it's just one of them days where regardless of what you do, you're just going through it. Your body, your fingers, your hands, you're swelling. It's hard to walk. It's hard to do anything with your hands. Just it could be a multiple of things. So sign number 3, the possibility of you gaining weight. That could be one. So Do you feel like the scale is creeping upward for those of you that are diabetic? And if you don't mind sharing, I'm really curious, who's out here that's going to be listening now or listening to my replay shortly after? Who's diabetic? You can put that. You can put that you're diabetic. I'm diabetic. I'm type 2 diabetic. You can put it out there if you're type 1 or type 2. And what do you do? What is your self-care on how you're taking care of yourself, being type 1 or type 2 diabetic? Let's support each other with this. Or if you're not and you know someone is, share. That's what I'm about. Dialoguing and sharing and being supportive. So again, if you feel like the scale is creeping upward without any signs of stopping, when we're consuming too much sugar, there's no way for our weight to be healthy. But excess calories leading to a larger dress size aren't the only things we need to worry about. Even people who are able to maintain a decent metabolism with their sugar consumption, people will call skinny fat. That should be on alert. Excess sugar affects your heart, your brain, your skin, and so much more. Because if you're doing a lot of intake on eating sugar, it can definitely show in your skin, in your face. You might get some type of discoloration or whatever, your face will begin to blow up. It can affect your brain, the way that you think, the way that you process, the way that you act. Your heart, definitely. That is number one important and something that you should be aware of. The solution? Start making an effort to opt for more green leafy vegetables. So a person like me, love my vegetables except for one, and that would be green peas. I don't like green peas, but don't get it twisted. I'm not going to go hungry because I don't like green peas. I prefer my kale, my green leafy vegetables. I also like my red cabbage. I've been told that the colorful vegetables are very good for you as well with the green leafy veggies too, because they have like the vitamins and the antioxidants in them as well. And good quality protein. Your health is greatly influenced by every bite that you take. If you give your body good stuff to eat, you're going to feel healthy and energized. If you give it the not good stuff, you're going to end up with obesity issues, blood sugar issues, and more. And we don't want that. Okay? Being obese, being hard to move around and be flexible and have energy because you're always tired, not being able to walk for a long time. It's just a multiple of things. Sign number 4. You've got brain fog. You've got brain fog. And it has nothing to do with dementia, but you can have a senior moment or a brain fog or a memory issue. I joke with myself and I'm like, oh, I'm having a senior moment, or oh, I can't remember. And it's not like people be like, oh, you're not paying attention. No, you might just for that moment just forget, which if it becomes a pattern, it's not good. So let's say, for example, you can't remember which day your kid's having a sleepover, or, you feel like taking a nap, even though your body isn't tired. Perhaps maybe you can't recall the last sentence you just read. It could be your diet. Scientifically, what I think is happening is that your body is focusing so hard on the withdrawal and on your blood sugar crashing that you're really going into a panic mode. So when your blood sugar is not in control and you're having these highs and lows, it puts you at risk for cognitive issues and impairment. So what's the solution to this? Well, perhaps you can start each morning off with healthy eating habits and push them throughout the rest of the day. Breakfast may be one of the most important meals of the day, but only if you're going to do it right. So perhaps for those that eat that may eat eggs, consider having eggs. I'm not typically an egg person. Or if you don't want the egg, then maybe you can do what do they call it? The white part of it. Or there's other options if you don't eat eggs at all. Right now, I don't know offhand. But you can have eggs with a side of spinach, an apple with some nut butter. Or if you don't like nut butter, they have almond butter, they have hazelnut butter, they have all different types of peanut butter now, which has great protein in it. Or you can eat nuts, raw nuts or nuts. I'll be careful of the salt. I would say lightly salted or just eat them raw. Or a full-fat yogurt topped with berries. Again, if you want to eat yogurt, if you're a dairy person and you want to eat yogurt, that's fine. They have the non-yogurt and they have the vegan yogurt. And you can put fruit in that too, because when I feel like I want to eat some vegan yogurt, I put me some blueberries in there. Love blueberries. I've cut up a few strawberries. You can cut up and put some apples. They do say an apple a day, what? Keeps the doctor away. So it's all up to you. And last, sign number 5. Your taste buds are changing. And I've noticed that my taste buds have changed a little. Not like significant, but they have changed a little, where I'm tasting things that I used to eat that I'm not too much, crazy about, or it just has a different taste. So your taste buds are changing. So strawberries naturally already have sugar in them. They're perfect. Don't overindulge, but you can have a few. But that's a big red flag that your sense of taste is changing. Like if you know, like sugar, like strawberries already have their own natural sweetness, but yet you want to put that white sugar, that processed white sugar on top of them. That's a definite no-no. And I probably have done that here and there in the past, but that's a definite no-no. Strawberries do already have their natural sugar in it. Also, being careful about those artificial sweeteners, which can be much more intense. If you're a tea drinker, or, if you're a tea drinker or if you're a coffee drinker, just really being mindful about, being kind of heavy-handed, putting tons of sugar in your tea or coffee. Me, I've tried tea without sugar. I can do without sugar, but when I feel like I want to, there is some that is vegan called Sugar in the Raw, and it's vegan, but I'm also mindful of that as well. Well, I try my best. Because I don't know about you guys, I don't really want syrupy tea. That's taken away from the texture and the taste of the tea for me. Or let's say you're eating pancakes and you know how we used to just pour that Aunt Jemima or Miss Butterworth on them pancakes and overindulge. Now that we getting older, for some of us it's catching up. Yeah, let's just be mindful because they do have alternatives of maple syrup that taste good. Okay, I know that they have what is that? Syrup, maple syrup, or syrup for diabetic people or people who don't really like a lot of sugar. Never had it. I'm not there with that, gotta be honest. Um, but I've also tried putting some jelly or some apple butter on my pancakes. I know it may sound weird or odd to people, but that is okay. I'm trying to find different ways to not go into like a sugar coma, okay? So, a solution that could be, they say dark chocolate. Dark chocolate of peace. Not the whole bar, people. Not the whole bar of dark chocolate. And dark chocolate may not, for some people, people can't do the dark chocolate. I mean, the milk chocolate does taste good, gotta be honest. But the dark chocolate has more benefits to it. So maybe take a little piece of dark chocolate, right? So scrutinize what you're eating, make healthy switches, and see if you still want that dessert like coffee drink each morning. So I hope that that was beneficial. I just wanted to hit key points of certain things, and I hope that I did. I want to thank each and every one of you, excuse me, for tuning in live, or for those that are going to listen to the replay, which will be available right after. I would like to invite you to my social media platforms. I am on Facebook right here, right now, doing my thing. Thank you all for your support and sharing and all of that, and your feedback. I am on Instagram, Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel. Again, I'm on Facebook right here, right now, Instagram, Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel. You can find me on all of them at Aisha Speaks Jade. Aisha Speaks Jade. On my YouTube channel, please go and subscribe if you have not yet. Please go and subscribe by hitting that thumbnail to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell to stay in the loop of everything. Also, if you are on LinkedIn, you can find me at Aisha Jade Speaks. Aisha Jade Speaks. Always remember that self-care is a priority, spiritually, faith-wise, universal-wise, nature-based-wise, whatever you do, that emotional and mentally, physically, self-care, your well-being matters. Your self-care matters. Your self-development, your self-awareness, loving yourself, respecting yourself, knowing your worth and your value, creating your greatness as well as creating your happiness, being in a good place as best as possible. All while knowing that, yes, we do have our challenges, we do have our obstacles, but you can catch it, check it, and change it. Will it be easy? Not necessarily. But you can definitely get benefits from it when you incorporate everything. Like Nike, just do it. Step out on what you fear the most. Step out on it. See how it will turn your life around. If you fall down, it's all right. We can get up. We can dust off. We go through what we go through. Don't hang on it and keep moving forward. Eliminate toxic people, places, and situations. With that being said, peace and blessings be upon each and every one of you. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and Ashe. Be good to yourself. Peace out.